Hey, welcome in to our new show, me and Blue, called A Cup of Hoops, sponsored by Synergy. Link is in the tweet. But Synergy is going to be a game changer for Great American Shootout this fall, this winter, spring, summer. It doesn't matter time of year. The open source concept of being able to watch all these high schools year round is going to be awesome for us Blue. So if you're not on Synergy High School coaches, we're going to come see you live still, but it would be a big help if you were so we can continue to keep up. Just like a cup of hoops,
Yeah.
rankings, all that stuff stays like water, Blue. It's fluid.
Oh man, this I'm excited for this our first cup of hoops here, and as people probably have tuned in, they see us always with one of these things in our hand, and so probably even walking around the gym with
No
something.
doubt.
Oh,
Yeah, if you see me or Blue around 2 p.m., you're going to see Starbucks probably with us. It's lifeblood for those 16-hour days when we are just zooming around, talking to people, watching hoops. But let's hop into it.
or in the comment section, tell us a local spot whenever we're in town.
I love that idea. Let's do it. Blue and I will go on genuinely. We'll wake up
Yeah.
like 30 minutes early to go do it. Um, Blue, little housekeeping. Our non-live or our live periods dates have dropped. Okay, our
Yep.
non-live period dates are coming soon. We're going to drop one right now. It's a really cool setup, Blue. I'm going to let you explain it. King of the Court coming March 15th to 17th in Duncanville.
Yeah. King of the Court kind of it hopefully explains a little bit of it. But what we're trying to do is just do something different as we open, tip off the spring season. And so that March date, it's early, but the way that we have it set up seems pretty fun. What we're going to do is we're going to have teams start off. You're going to play one full length game, but we're going to cut it up into two opponents. So just for instance, we have part of the logistics done. We'll definitely give more details. But say Team A and Team B are playing on court one. They Whoever the winner of the first 22 minutes will play the winner of Team C and D on court two, and then winners stay type
Be fun.
scenario. We'll flip flop them, and then you get your next 22 minutes against a new opponent. Um, you know, so be on the lookout for that. But it's exciting. We brainstormed on it. We're sitting on a new different product, especially that early. People just kind of want to get out there and run around and get going. And I don't know who threw it out, but the king of the court, you know, I'm sure Timmons had something to do with
I was
that,
about
of
to say
course.
probably Timmons.
Yeah.
It was
So,
definitely Timmons. May have been
and
Sam though. He comes up with some good ones.
yeah. Hey, you know what? Sometimes we just all collaborate, and that's what we come up with. It was so yeah. So stay tuned for more details. Timmons will be dropping at Film Hoopers. He'll be dropping the dates as we have plenty to choose from.
Yep. Hopping into our quick question. It's going to be recruiting this week, Blue. I'm going to pass it to you. You ready? We're
Yeah.
getting this question a lot right now, just as we're heading into the high school season. There's a lot of 24s that are still kind of without significant recruitment right now. What would you say to them? When does recruitment start to become a reality with these seniors right now, and maybe some words to the juniors?
Yeah. And this goes along with the program that you started with Recruiting Simplified. And so the first thing I'm always going to start with is do not hit the panic button. This is a long season that we still have 5 months to go, and then it bleeds into the spring. But if you're a senior still looking at getting that recruitment that you feel like you deserve, one is going to start on the basketball court as you start your senior season, because there's going to be a lot of eyeballs just kind of in and out. I can speak for ourselves. We're going to be advocating for the best players that we see on any given night as we go into tournament season early on, and then of course into district. And that information is shot out to hundreds and hundreds of college coaches across the country. But what can you do as a class of 2024 player? This is where you can set a very quick standard to your highlight films, uh, as Mass has talked about in the past. And so it's going out there, yes, and playing hard and getting the most out of your game and so forth. But it's allowing the process to continue. And when you're playing hard, you're playing well. the buzz will start coming, the tweets as the momentum starts building, and then so forth into you connecting with the college coaches through your high school coach at this moment, and setting a short, easy highlight clip to send out.
That's a good word, Blue. So just to recap, okay, be patient. Don't press the panic button. Have those highlight videos as things kind of happen throughout the year. Get organized. Know exactly what you are looking for, you, the player. And like I said, ride the wave of the momentum and play well. You know?
And how long should those videotapes, those clips be, Mass?
Less than a minute, okay? Pop plays at the beginning and end, kind of sandwich in there who you are as a player. The example I use, if you're a shooter, show yourself making translatable buckets, okay? Coming off a pin down, getting those feet set in transition, off the dribble. Showcase yourself as a translatable shooter, not just a shooter catching open ones against the 2-3 zone. So, quick question, wrapping up. Yeah, moving on. Okay, Blue, your favorite topic. I know it's your favorite topic because you're the big man expert in the office. A big deal. Some big man talk. Who are the best big men that you saw this weekend?
I think that there's like plenty of them popping up around the
no doubt
around the state in many different classifications, which is fun. And I'll just jump right into it with Ezo Wakama from Mansfield Lake Ridge. We've known about him, we've seen him, but it's such a luxury at the college level to have a guy like Eza that where in high school, that's even magnified even bigger because this guy runs the court. The guards can throw the ball at the rim and he can just go get it at any given time. You have to be on the lookout. I love his speed and his quickness. And for a big, he can hit the hole and he hits the gaps. He's a lot to just be excited about because anything around that rim, he might go gobble it up and then throw it back down.
So like insane length on Eza.
I'll jump in. He's running back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. Malachi Hubbard, you and I got a chance to attend a Denton Braswell practice here recently. He's a 2025, and we kind of zoned in on the big men when they split, and Malachi was doing all these drills. You even asked me at one time, you're like, is he left-handed? And I was like, no, they're just working his left hand like really well. And then I go to the game on Saturday, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching, and I see him duck in just like a drill that they would work on, turn, left-handed hook. Me and Coach Zakiris caught eyes, and I was like, it's never that clean. Like, it never translates that clean. And of course it did. And Malachi getting off the floor, he's a sneaky, sneaky name in that 2025 class that college coaches need to be aware of. He's coming on very, very strong. And it was just really cool to see the translation from practice of what Coach Zakiris and Denton Braswell is looking to do, and then seeing Malachi on the court in a game setting, executing. Man, there's nothing better. Just as a former coach, like, man, that was really cool to see.
And they took the time to practice that. That's the biggest thing is the takeaway. And with college coaches, they always, when they attend a practice, they want to see as much as possible in that short window of time. And to go to Denton Braswell might be worth every second as they really work on it off the block, jumping to the ball, reverse pivots, scoring with either hand around the bucket. So it was very refreshing to kind of see that at the high school level.
Absolutely. Dominic Smith, a name from Denison that we had monitored during the grassroots season. We saw him with Crab 5 at a Memorial Day event. Very, very intriguing prospect. Blue, why don't you expand?
Watching him and just kind of at times just focusing on him alone.
He's 6'10", by the way.
Yeah. And the length that he possesses. Obviously, you can't teach it. He's born with it. And so he can get up and down the court. And what I was really impressed about, because he's a thinner framed kid, is that when he gets the ball anywhere near the basket and he's open, he has a clear lane, he goes and rises above the basket. And that shows the instinctiveness of a player with that length, with that ability. And because he needs to add weight to get stronger, but he still has plenty of months to do that. He can run the floor. He's going to alter shots around the basket. And just for a short period of time, when you watch him, you just start thinking, what is this going to look like in the future? We can never really know that for certain, but there's a lot of little intangibles that he has that I know Coach Chris Ostrich is very excited about, and he's going to utilize them, and he's going to touch the ball as many times as possible, probably during just one possession.
Yeah, no, and very talented, a lot of upside with that size and athleticism. It's good to see him come along. Moving into our next segment, questions answered. This was a fun one we had talked about, and this, probably the best way to explain it is to give you the example. The first one that came to mind, I was talking to Coach Chisholm before Cedar Hill played their first game, and he looks at me and he goes, "Coach, the seniors of my group this year, their expectations are sky high." And when you hear that, not Coach Chisholm's, but the players' expectations are sky high, and Cedar Hill goes out there and goes 2-0, looking really good, really deep. A lot of player I can mention. Nick Addison was the one who really stood out to me this weekend in particular. But man, they're going to make some noise. They're going to make some noise. It's a really, really good team, and they're going to win. They're going to pass the eye test. Like when they walk out on the court, you're like, whoa. They're really good.
We did not talk about the actual topics for our first show here, but the notes go to show you that I was thinking about them also when I was watching them. Because as a team that wants to cause chaos and is willing to play under controlled chaos, 94 feet, guess what they did? They rotated on defense. They were patient on the offensive end. They made extra passes. They showed discipline by getting the ball in the paint and then kicking it out to their shooters. Like there was so many things that are stereotypes of when you want to run 94 feet that they erased. Even if it was for a short period of 5 to 10 minutes while I was watching, those stereotypes of a team that athletic and that fast were thrown out the window, and they showed discipline. And I think that was very refreshing because they shared the ball. I mean, my favorite guy at the moment was Trenton Thomas at 6'3", 2024. He was shooting it. He was guarding. He was passing. He was leading the break. And you can't help but just wonder, what does this look like, or any team really, when their coach is on the sideline?
Yep. Gotta love it. Another question answered. Frisco Emerson kind of got their big ding, ding, ding on that court one. And they played Dallas Kimball, who, they're still coming together and still figuring it out. And they're going to be a really, really tough out. There ain't no doubt about it when push comes to shove in March. But Frisco Emerson, a very young team anchored by 2 sophomores and a junior. Court 1, GASO, 10 a.m. That's a big stage. And they answered the bell.
Yeah, I mean, their top 2 guards are both 2026s and Keontae Graybear and James Sanderson. And then you throw Noah Hill at 6'6", 6'7" to man the middle. And not that they're ready to take the next step in their journey.
Yeah.
How far that leads them, we don't know. But for these 2 games, they showed that, hey, we're going to be right here on courts 1 and 2, and we're going to go out there and produce. Like you said, Kimball, not a Kimball team yet, but they have all the pieces. So even with Emerson going out there and beating them by 9 or 10 points, that is still a little bit that give yourself a tally mark if you're Emerson. Because I remember last year when we went to go watch them during the district season, you're like, Blue, you got to get out there and watch Frisco Emerson. They got some players. And now you're starting to see everything that it translated to the next level, but as a team, it's starting to come together. And I think that you have to be kind of excited, but still have some real goals that you set that are obtainable, because I think as we go along here that you're going to see a team that is going to become more mature and more chemistry driven, and they're going to just learn their roles even more.
Yeah, don't peak in October. Here's the lesson. And Kimball, it's still October. We know who you are. And that's kind of our point here. Like the legacy that Kimball has, we know they're going to be there in the end. Coach Nick Smith does a fantastic job year in and year out. And it's just fun to see the process happen for a team of young guys. And it's really, really cool to see. Question answered. Lawyer Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I went over to check him out the second half of the Lake Highlands Waco Midway game. I walk up. Lake Highlands is up about 20 points starting the second half. And, Lake Highlands, ho-hum, such a great program. But Lawyer Jones, This guy had 24 in the second half, and he scored a bucket in every single way possible. Off the dribble from three, catch and shoot, getting downhill, in transition. I mean, punishing the rim. This kid is a kid that's still, like, we've known about him for a minute, but I feel like he's still kind of under the radar. And Lawyer is a very, very, very recruitable asset. I also want to mention the name Justin Hicks. Had a really great game as well in that second half. He probably had 8 or 12, 10, 12, somewhere in that area in the second half. Those two guards were cooking. They came back and won. Was really, really impressed by that Waco Midway group.
And Lawyer Jones, we can't overlook his athleticism because that drives him.
Yeah.
But the consistency of his shot is really going to be his key to help Waco Midway get as far as they can. And secondly, with his recruitment, it's gonna come down to the consistency. And I think that he took smart shots at the right time, and he wasn't overshooting, he wasn't over dribbling. He went out there and he was in the moment of trying to win a basketball game. Yeah. And that translates also.
Absolutely. Blue, a player that you were very excited about, who really performed all summer on our GASO stage, is Jensen Knowles from Richardson. Coach Lawson, year in, year out, Richardson's tough, man. Richardson's really good. And you kind of made the comment of, like, Jensen can be the guy.
Yeah. Speaking of Coach Lawson, he what did he tell me? He said that Jensen averaged 8 to 9 points last year and shot 37% from behind the 3-point arc. And so you look at that probably is going to double this year. Like, you see him out on the court, and when that ball leaves his hand, you just think it's going to go in all the time. You can't lose him because that's where he wants to be, a setup from the outside. And he was stroking it. Even the ones that he missed, you just watch the trajectory of the ball and you thought it was going to go in every single time. And he's playing hard on both ends. He's rebounding. He's doing a little bit of pushing the ball in transition. But once that ball gets out of his hands, he's looking for those spots that he's comfortable of catching and shooting, and he's getting a lot of work done. And so you look at his production having to double this year, and what I saw was, hey, he's going to answer that question, I think. And he did a fantastic job, which I think that we talked a lot about him throughout the weekend, but yeah, why not give that player their due?
Yeah, fun group over there too. Got a sophomore who's pretty good, Parker Scott, Rustin Griffin. Obviously, I like this Richardson team this year. I'm really intrigued, and I'm excited about watching them. All right, the segment that I came up with is called Roll the Tape. Okay, we had 2 dunks that were just like dumb, like silly, and I'm just gonna show them, and it makes it really fun. But here's Keontae Graybear. Frisco Emerson. So that happened. Okay. And then, we come here. The next possession. And then that happened. So, like, whoa.
Let me tell you something about Dean Vines here from Kimball. That guy knows one thing, and that's aggressiveness.
I love it.
He dribbles the ball 94 feet. It's just like the biggest pounding that the court has ever taken as he goes up and down the court. He gets to the rim. He can stop in time, though I think that might have been some framework there by the magic of Michael Timmons.
No doubt.
And it's like going to throw it, but he's got some power to that game. And I just think like that guy is just it's fun to watch. Like, I want him to hit the hole every single time.
Well, I'm gonna make a comment here on the Graybear dunk. Okay, it was Jalen that Graybear dunked on, but here's the beauty in that. Like, Jalen, keep going and attacking those blocks, man. You're gonna it's happened to LeBron James. LeBron's been dunked on. Like, it's part of it. And use your abilities to keep being aggressive, man. I love it. I had an exchange with Jalen on Saturday. He sent a highlight video out, and I saw it, and like, there's a couple times where his head's about to hit the rim, and I'm just like, the air's just a little different up there, and he called it, quote, windy, and just stuff I couldn't dream of doing. But man, we don't just get to enjoy this sometimes enough, Blue. And Keontae's dunk gone viral. Jalen's dunk gone viral. Really, really cool and incredible to watch those guys compete. And those plays happened like very like Keontae dunked and then Jalen dunked like very soon after. It's just fun, man. It's fun at the Gasso. Love it. I love
I
it.
know exactly which. Well, this is going to be a shout out to the media that shows up because they capture so many plays that happen that we're not always there for. And
Yeah.
so it's one of those times that my question is the person at the very beginning of the video goes overrated. I was like, or overranked or something. I don't know who they were talking about. So drop in the comments what that was referring to, unless you know, Mass. Um, like, I don't know.
I love both of these kids.
Hey, if you
Not to
answer
me.
that
I'd take them.
question,
They can be on my team. Gasso team.
hey, whoever answers that question right here, you're my number. I'm your number one fan because you've been watching the entire video to get to this point.
No doubt.
So
No doubt. All right. Last segment. We're going to wrap this thing up here, but just Gasso watch list. And we're just going to mention some guys that we saw that maybe the public, doesn't know about. We get to watch a lot of basketball. And not that we're, calling these guys, but in the same vein, like we want to call attention to their names as players to watch. And maybe you do or maybe you don't know the names, but get familiar with these names. Go give them a watch and see what you think. So, Blue, I'm going to let you tip us off with one of your guys.
yeah, right here, Kamal Brooks, 2024 from Red Oak. I mean, he's looks like part of that heart and soul of Red Oak of wanting to get up and down the court, cause some trouble on the defensive side of the ball, race you down court. He got a good looking 3-point shot, but he's a guy that's looking to just make a play. Like he's scanning the floor, and I had not seen him prior to this weekend, or might have been just lost in my memory, my memory base. But the thing is that he really showed us a ton of heart of trying to get up and down the court, passing the ball, being the go-to guy, and he wasn't lost in a on a team that has a lot of high-end potential for the season.
No doubt. That's a really good group. I'm going to go with, or good player. I'm going to go with Valric Halliburton from Grand Prairie. I sat down and watched him. It was an early morning game. This kid was great. Probably 5'8", 5'9", shifty little guard. Made plays for others, made great passes, made shots, got downhill, finished layups. Just a name to keep to keep in the back of your head, because if you go see Grand Prairie play, they've got some dudes. They have a freshman, Steve McLeod. They've got Santana Spivey, who's a 2024, really had a great game when I watched it, 20-something points. But Valric was the engine that made them go. He got downhill, got a ton of paint touches. Fun to watch when guards have the ball in their hands and they're making great decisions. It makes everything so easy.
And it makes for a really quick and easy eval. And we know how much you love guard play. And I'll just go with another guard here of Jalen Miles from Tyler Legacy, kind of 2026. He looks like the point guard of the future over there for Kyle Smith, who is the new head coach there at Tyler Legacy. And he's not complicated to figure out. He's going to push the ball at you. He's going to drive by opponents in the open court, handle pressure, get the ball quickly out of his hands, hit some floaters. He's going to set up his teammates. And so it's just, when your game is simple, that can go a long way. And when you're watching a team that's going to look for an identity, look to make a some type of run than what they've had in the past, because they did a little bit of struggling, but hopefully this is the year that they can turn things around there at Tyler Legacy. And it helps when you have a really good guard that's dependable to put the ball in and let him go.
Absolutely. The last guy I'll mention, Jaden Bod, Euless Trinity. He's a 2025, 6'4", kind of a combo guard. I was just watching Euless right at the beginning, and man, oh man, stuck out like a sore thumb, the way he moved, the way he handled. He did some things that stood out to me. I looked at Coach Falans. I was like, who's that? And he was like, yeah, he's going to be a player, man. So when you're getting the thumbs up from the head coach, it's, he can go. And, Jaden Bod, a name to watch. Euless Trinity, fun group.
Yeah, and as we close out here, I just want to take the time to thank the coaches, all the media, the parents. we put together this this GASO Fall Tour that we hit up Duncanville, Waco, San Antonio, Houston, and Mansfield. 5 stops. I like to think that our staff just works continuously and great together. And we put out, hopefully, we put out a really good product for everybody, because this is kind of where it all starts. This is where the name dropping starts, but this also is where the team aspect of who's going to be going to San Antonio in March. Who do you like? What does one team have over another? It just starts so many conversations, and we reached over 330 teams this year in our 5-star stops, and I'm very grateful and thankful for everybody that participated in this from top to bottom. And so I think we can say that we're the largest or the biggest fall tour for varsity basketball in the state of Texas.
No doubt. That's going to wrap it for a couple of hoops. See you next week.